Hi everyone. Today we're going to read a really cute book called The Magic Friend Maker. Here we go. Beth was a one girl. She had no best friend. She wanted one. She pretended she was her own best friend, but it didn't work. It takes two girls or two boys or one girl and one boy to be best friends. Poor Beth, she played alone. Then one day, Beth found another one girl. Her name was Jean, and she was sitting on a step. Jean smiled when she looked at Beth. Beth saw sparkles in Jean's not blue, not brown eyes. Suddenly, Beth knew that Jean was someone very special. So she said, "Hello, I'm Beth." "I'm Jean," the new girl said. "We just moved in." In Jean's hand, Beth saw something about the size of an egg. So she asked, "What are you playing with?" "A rock," Jean said. "Oh, you don't really have a rock," Beth said. But she hoped that Jean did have a rock. Here in the middle of the city, there weren't any rocks. Jean opened her fingers. There was a rock. Beth saw that Jean's rock was smooth. It looked very old. Its brownness was streaked with one color that looked like rust on an old iron. Another streak was the exact color of a policeman's coat on a smoggy, misty morning. "Touch it," Jean said. "My rock gets warm when you hold it." So Beth held the rock. Jean was right. Beth's warm skin warmed the rock. Beth could feel its smoothness and its roundness and its all-togetherness. "Where did you get it?" Beth asked. "I found it in the river," Jean said. "It's pretty when it's wet. Do you want to see?" "Oh, yes," Beth said. So Beth went upstairs with Jean. Jean told Beth, "When I found my rock, the sun was shining and the water was moving." Jean put her rock in water. Beth looked at the rock with the electric light shining on it. Suddenly, something wonderful happened to the rock. It looked like melted candy streaked with red and shadowy blue. Beth picked up the rock. Out of the water, the rock looked old again, but it felt nice and cool and a little bit slippery. "Is it magic?" Beth asked. "Oh, no," Jean said. But Beth knew that Jean was wrong. There was a kind of magic about that rock. Sharing it had turned a new girl into a best friend. After she found Jean, Beth didn't mind being a one girl. She played games with her friend. They cut out paper dolls, wore their mother's hats, shared coloring books and crayons, and giggled and sang and whispered secrets. They played in the park. They walked along all the paths. They fed popcorn to the sparrows. And once they even saw a squirrel. They whirled around and around on a wobbly merry-go-round that they pushed with their feet. They swung so high that they seemed to sit on air for just a second. They teetered, and sometimes Beth was higher. Sometimes Jean was higher. And sometimes they were even. They played hopscotch. It was fun, no matter who won. When they felt lazy, they rolled Jean's rock back and forth like a ball. When Beth touched the rock, it was still warm from Jean's hand. When Jean touched the rock, it was warm from Beth's hand. They were happy. Then one morning, very early, Jean knocked on Beth's door. She said, "Goodbye, Beth. We're moving away." "When?" Beth asked in a small, unhappy voice. "Now," Jean said. "I came to give you my rock." "Oh, thank you, Jean," said Beth. "Goodbye, Beth," Jean said. "Goodbye," Beth said sadly. Jean went down the stairs. Beth thought, "Where will I ever find another friend? How will I get to know her? Will she want to be my friend?" While Beth stood in the hall, a new girl came up the stairs. She said, "Hi, I'm Anna. I'm moving in." "Hi," Beth said. "I'm Beth." Anna looked at the rock in Beth's hand. Beth, too, looked at it. It was just a rock until it was shared. Then it became a magic friend maker. Beth smiled. Suddenly, she knew how she would get to know this new girl. "You want to touch my rock?" she asked. "Oh, yes," Anna said. Her eyes sparkled, and Beth knew that the magic had worked again. The end.